Good evening and welcome to KTN Business. My name is Abi Agina. The Central Bank of Kenya has embarked on a vetting process targeting directors of banking institutions and senior managers in a bid to weed out people with questionable integrity or conflict of interest. According to CBK Chairman Mohamed Nyaoga, the revetting has been necessitated by recent bank failures that threaten to crush the confidence in Kenya's banking system.
We are insisting on banks refining their governance structures in terms of policies, systems, processes, and procedures. All this is to ensure that we don't expose consumers to bad governance practices in these institutions.
We need good corporate governance, not just in banks, in all institutions, but most importantly in the banking sector. You know, when uchumi collapses, that may not affect, Nakumatt. But if a bank collapses, it has a systemic effect, a contagion effect that will affect a good number of banks, and more particularly if that bank is big.
Indeed, directors on the watch. Despite the ongoing dry spell that has seen a drop in water levels at key power generation dams in the country, power utility firm Kenya Power has reiterated that there are no plans to ration power. The firm's acting CEO noted that Kenya has enough reserves to push through the country before the rains set in next month. Power generating firm KenGen had announced that they had scaled down on hydropower at the Masinga Dam. This, in essence, saw the thermal power being utilized, which has raised the fuel cost charge passed on to consumers, and from the current figure to 2.25 cents. The cost of power in the country has remained rather high at 11 US cents per kilowatt hour, which has made Kenya not an attractive destination for manufacturers. The government says they will be scaling up geothermal power to improve the energy mix, which is to blame for the high power costs.
Of carrying out power rationing.
Access to the Two Rivers Mall after the multi-billion shilling mall opened its doors to members of the public. The mall, tucked in Nairobi's Ruaka area, is set to raise the bar high in the lucrative mall business. On this week's Transformers, we take a look at the growing interest among global brands to have a slice of the cake. Kenya's skyline has been experiencing a rapid shift with the coming of multi-billion shilling investments thanks to a fast-growing middle class coupled with a rise in income levels. The latest piece of infrastructure to join the growing number of malls in the country is the Two Rivers Mall.
This mall, the opening of it is like a family expecting a baby, and when it is about to come, you know the anxiety you have. This to us has been a 5 years journey, and it's incredible, that journey.
The property, which opened its doors officially to customers, is tipped to raise Kenya's profile in the region. The mall broke ground in 2013 and has experienced several delays in its completion dates, many linked to funding.
This development has already created about 2,500 jobs, and we are told that by the time it is complete, 10,000 jobs will be created out of this investment.
The 8 billion shilling massive mall, which sits on an 11-acre piece of land in Ruaka, has so far hit a tenancy of 70%, with more brands yet to come on board.
I salute Centum Investment for its boldness in conceiving and sponsoring, and indeed in leading this major project.
With 67,000 square meters of gross lettable area, the mall is the largest in sub-Saharan Africa, outside of South Africa, with almost 200 stores. Well, the opening of Two Rivers Mall is set to put Kenya on the global map as one of the destinations that has managed to attract some of the big brands into the continent. The mall boasts a diverse mix of both international and local brands, including the anchor tenant Carrefour and global fashion retailer LCY Kiki are among the many brands that continue to troop to Kenya.
On our first day of launching of this mall, Your Excellency, we were fortunate to attract 35,000 visitors.
The entry of Two Rivers raises the number of malls to 27 in the country. So far, among the top of the cream in the mall business is The Hub, Garden City, Thika Road Mall, Westgate and Village Market.
We think the 100 acres will take maybe the next 10, 15 years to be completely filled up. But if the economy turns around to be faster and people appreciate this location, which is one of the best locations in Nairobi, by the way, we will fill it up in a much shorter time, maybe less than 10 years.
Although Kenya is on the radar of international investors, majority of the malls are still grappling with low tenancy, as most are yet to be fully occupied. Ideally, it takes at least 5 years for a mall to recoup the initial investment. With the prime location and easy accessibility, Two Rivers is betting big on a faster turnaround. Abiagina, KTN Business. Well, Two Rivers is officially open. You should make some time and go visit. Moving on, the Webuye Rai paper mill management has refuted claims that the paper manufacturing factory stopped functioning after being launched by President Uhuru Kenyatta in December last year. Factory manager Naga Shankar says occasional stoppages experienced recently were due to ongoing repairs as the facility had been dilapidated. He made the remarks when Bungoma Governor Kenneth Lusaka toured the factory to assess progress on the renovation of the facility.
Removed that old asbestos roof sheeting for so many sections, and we are fixing up new metal sheeting, Mawate sheeting, and we are almost through on the paper machine section, and the roof sheeting changing work is going on other sections like pulp preparation and raw material storage sections.
Pan paper had been down for over 9 years. And therefore, there are a lot of other renovations that are going on, and sometimes, they're also experiencing vandalism. Like we had a very serious vandalism of the water pipe, which made the plant stop. Then before that, after that, we also had, they had to replace the roofs. But you can see that the mill is already up and running, and therefore people are working. We've seen them around here, and therefore we want to tell those doubting Thomases that let them look for something else to talk about. The issue of pan paper, what actually they should be asking is the gratuity that was promised to the workers of this place. I think that's what is important, what is we are pursuing. But aspects of whether it's working or not, I think we are past that. You can see it's working, and we need to get to the next level.
The Capital Markets Authority has granted approval for the listing of the first exchange-traded fund in Kenya to be issued by New Gold Issuer Limited. The firm will issue and list 400,000 gold bullion debentures as a secondary listing on NSE's main investment market segment. The listing price of the ETF will be determined on the listing date based on the real-time cash market values of the gold price and the real-time price of the Kenya shilling. The authority developed policy guidance notes in September 2015 to operationalize the trading ETFs in Kenya. ETFs are a type of listed open-ended index or unit instrument bought or sold on a securities exchange. The index or unit may be composed of ordinary stocks, bonds, commodities, futures, or a combination of real assets with the objective of allowing for exposure to a portfolio of securities, assets, or indices whose price movement is in tandem with the price movement of the constituent underlying securities or commodities. Well, that's all we had lined up for you here on KTN Business. My name is Abiagina. I leave you with the day's financial report, where the NSE 20 share index continues to perform pretty well. Of course, the shilling has also been able to come across pretty strongly in the last few months. Of course, this has been anchored on a strengthening US dollar as well. Well, my name is Abe Gina. Do have yourselves a lovely night. Thank you for your valued company.